So this week I'm going to be letting Halloween Candy choose my reads. So you're probably wondering, how is Halloween Candy gonna choose what I read? So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be choosing 10 different candies out of here, and I'm going to try, we'll see if this works, I'm going to try and mark numbers 1 through 10 on different candies. I don't think I'm gonna be able to write numbers on this kind of material because I think it'll just smear. So I think it's mostly going to be Reese's and Kit Kats maybe. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to be choosing probably 3 candies. So basically, I'm gonna write 1 through 10 on these candies, and I'm going to put them all in a bowl, mix them up, and whichever number I choose, that's the book I have to read. I have a little key here of what books are 1 through 10. Okay, so how I chose the books I put on this little key here, I kind of took books from my fall TBR and books that also are just kind of giving spooky season to me, and also some new releases that I put in here as well. The first one that is gonna be our #1 book is The Institute by Stephen King. I just feel like Stephen King obviously gives spooky season vibes, and I haven't read it. It sounded very interesting when I read the back of it. And #2, I chose Verity by Colleen Hoover. And I know Colleen Hoover is very hit or miss for some people, I know, but I feel like Verity is one of those OG books that I feel like I kind of want to read and see what's going on with it, so I wouldn't be mad if that got chosen. The third one is very, very random. I chose Hidden Pictures. I don't even know the author, and I chose this one because I have stumbled across this book multiple times when searching for mystery, like thriller books, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, I think. So I wanted to try that out and see, and I've heard it was good. And #4, I have Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. I just feel like witch gives spooky season vibes. I feel like I just had to have this in this list. And #5 is Hunting Adeline. I know this duology is also very hit or miss for people. I actually kind of like the first book. I thought it was very intriguing. Obviously it's very dark, but I want to finish the duology. I feel like it gives the fall spooky season vibes, so I went ahead and added that to the list. And #6 is actually not only a new release, but a book I just picked up recently, and that was If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, I think her name is. I realize I haven't been saying authors. I'm so sorry. This has been a book that has been all over like Book Talk and stuff, and it's been sold out everywhere. I cannot believe I found it at Barnes, so I had to add that to the list. And #7 is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. He wrote The Silent Patient, which I really, really loved, and I've heard nothing but great things about The Maidens. It's really giving fall vibes, and I feel like I'm saying that with every single book. And #8, I have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, I believe is the name. I've heard so many good things about this series. It's a YA, like, romantasy. I don't know if it's a romantasy or just fantasy or what, but it's a trilogy, and I've heard good things about it. And #9 is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, I'm not sure which one. I read The 7 Year Slip by her. I really, really loved it, and I feel like The Dead Romantics gives the perfect like fall spooky season vibes, especially October, because apparently he's a ghost. So last but not least is a new release by one of my favorite authors of all time, and that is The Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I literally don't know what this book is about. I picked it up at Barnes, and yeah, I'm excited to read it. No idea what it's about, but I just had to get it because I love her writing. Without further ado, I have my list. I have my candy, so I'm going to now pick 10 candies out of here, put the numbers on them, hopefully they won't smear off, and we're gonna choose the first book that we're gonna be reading for this video. Okay, I am back, and I've transferred the 10 candies I chose into a different bucket, so that way I wouldn't get confused. So to make this like as blind as possible, I decided to choose all mostly the same size candy. So literally this is like all Reese's with the exception of some Reese's Pumpkins. I was worried that if I chose like a Kit Kat, because like I feel like if my hand grabbed it, I would know it's different. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, and I don't know if it matters, but like just in case I remembered what number I put on a candy, if that makes sense. I don't know. I wanted it to be as like random as possible. So that's why I just did Reese's. So hopefully the numbers will stay. As I say in every single challenge, I'm a little nervous. And I'm not gonna look. Okay, so the first book is... Okay, I think I just grabbed a regular Reese's. All right, and drum roll please, #8. And what is #8? What's number 8? You guys will know before me. The Prison Healer. Whoa. So, like I said, this is a YA romantasy series, and this is book 1 of 3. 17-year-old Kaiva Meriden has spent the last 10 years fighting for survival in the notorious death prison Zandalov, working as the prison healer. When the rebel queen is captured, Kaiva is charged with keeping the eternally ill woman alive long enough for her to undergo the Trial of Ordeal, a series of elemental challenges against the torments of air, fire, water, and earth, assigned to only the most dangerous of criminals. Then a coded message from Kaiva's family arrives containing a single order: "Don't let her die, we are coming." Aware that the trials will kill the sickly queen, Kaiva risks her own life to volunteer in her place. If she succeeds, both she and the queen will be granted their freedom, but no one has ever survived. With an incurable plague sweeping Zandalov, a mysterious new inmate fighting for Kaiva's heart, and a prison rebellion brewing, Kaiva can't escape the terrible feeling that her trials have only just begun. Officially downloading The Prison Healer. I'm so excited, but also realizing I'm just adding to the list of series that I'm reading. Oh well. Hey. Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. So I started The Prison Healer last night. It's actually been a couple days since I pulled The Prison Healer for the first book for this video. I got to chapter 3 last night, and these chapters are kind of long. No, they're not. Well, they feel kind of long. I like it so far. It's kind of just the introductory chapters. There's not really much going on. In the prologue, there was something going on with a family, and like I think that's probably about our main character Kaiva. Sorry if you hear Marshall howling, he does not want to be in his kennel. So I think what happened was Kaiva was captured for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. So she's working as the prison healer, and I think that she's been working as the prison healer since she was 12 years old, which is kind of crazy. And I don't know how old she is now, but I think she's probably around 16, 17 or something like that. She was healing somebody, and I guess there was a message hidden in this person's boot or something in their clothes. I don't know how to explain it, but basically like they have to change into like the prisoner clothes, I guess. And then I think every time that they have changed, she would look through their clothes to find any sort of sign that her family is okay and that they're coming to save her. So I'm not sure why she's there and why she is a prisoner. I'm not really sure what happened. I think we're slowly getting close to the part and the point of the book which the plot tells us that she has to keep a certain queen alive. But I figured, since it's such a nice day, I'm home from work and I haven't had my coffee yet, I thought maybe I could be brave and go into my small town coffee shop. So I'm gonna be brave today and go to the coffee shop. I'm gonna get a coffee and then maybe I can find somewhere to read. It is such a nice fall day today. Anyway, I'm gonna get packed up and I guess let's go to the coffee shop. I'm a little nervous. I hope there's not a lot of people in there saying like film or something, but we'll see. Okay, anyways, see you at the coffee shop. Hopefully the coffee's good or I'm gonna be upset. It's funny too because I didn't know exactly where this coffee shop was, but I actually had to park a little out, so I'm gonna have to walk a little bit. I don't know, I'm just nervous. I shouldn't be nervous, that's silly. The coffee shop is really close to the library as well, so if I feel a little like overwhelmed, I can go to the library and read, which I think would be fun too. I don't want to be out all day, but if we can get like 100 pages read or something, that would be so awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead and head to the coffee shop. got to chapter 7. Not page 100, but I got to page like 56. I just felt like I wanted to go back home, I guess. But I liked reading in there. It was really fun. But I think I'm gonna head home because I miss my dog. I got to like chapter 7 in the Prison Healer while I was at the coffee shop. I had a really good time in the coffee shop too. It wasn't super packed at all. I think for some of the time I was sitting there, I was the only one in there, and that was really nice. I like the book so far. It's slow right now, and I think that's just because, you know, we're kind of learning about the structure of the prison and like how things work around there and kind of the rules and kind of how Kaiva has been living. There was like 3 more prisoners sent in, or 3 more people sent in. 2 of them, unfortunately, had died, but one was unconscious. Kaiva, of course, is the healer, so her job is to heal him. So she, of course, started noticing that he was, you know, kind of attractive, maybe around her age. And then there's this other character named Tip, and he's 8. He's 8 years old. He's just a little kid. And he's like, "Are you gonna swoon, Kaiva? Like, don't worry, I can catch you." And she's like, "Why would I swoon?" He's like, "'Cause he's pretty." And I just thought that was really funny. So she met him. He eventually came to. She's really taken off guard by Jaren, which we figure out that's his name. She's taken off guard by him because he has this like different attitude about being in the prison, and she's scared of everything, and understandably so, because, you know, she's seen a lot and she's lived in the prison for a very long time. I think about close-ish to 5 to 6 years. I think she's lived in this prison, so she kind of knows like things that go on. And Jaren is kind of has a different attitude towards it, and she doesn't know how to approach him. And I think that's very interesting, seeing that dynamic, and she's kind of trying to like figure out how to like navigate him, because she essentially got assigned to show him around the prison, and that's not something she normally does. But we did learn that Kyla is essentially the warden's kind of second hand, and her job is to kind of learn about the rebellion and what's going on outside, and she has to learn this from talking to the prisoners, I believe. So I think what she's probably gonna have to end up doing is learning more about Jaren, maybe. But I'm sitting here because I wanted to go ahead and pick the next book that we're reading for this video, and I know that's kind of weird because I figured what I would do is I would finish the Prison Healer, then pick the next one. But it's because I usually read 2 books at once. So I wanted to see what the next book was gonna be, and maybe I can listen to that on audio, because I have some of these books on this list on audio format and probably on Spotify and stuff. So I wanted to see if it was something that I could listen to, because I'm also leaving on a trip next Wednesday. So I wanted to see if I could get the majority of the clips done before I leave. Let's go ahead and see what my next book is gonna be. And I am gonna try to read more of the Prison Healer today. I do want to eat, probably make another coffee, and I'm gonna sit and try to read as much of the book as I can. But let's go ahead and choose the next book for this video. All right. What is this? Oh, you can barely see it. It's number 9. And number 9 is... I can actually grab it because I have it physically. Number 9 is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I think this will be really good to read in this video as well, because I'm reading a YA like romantasy fantasy right now, and this is a romance. And what's interesting about this one is apparently like he's a ghost, so I don't know how that's gonna work. It says, for 10 years she's run from the town that never understood her, and even though she misses the sound of a warm southern night and her eccentric loving family and their funeral parlor, she can't bring herself to stay. Her father's gone, yet everything feels the same, and she hates it, until she finds a ghost standing at the funeral parlor's front door, just as broad and infuriatingly, whoa, I can't read that word right now. Just as annoyingly handsome as ever, and just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is most certainly dead, but so is her new editor, and his unfinished business will have her second-guessing everything she's ever known about love stories. This is the second book. I'm probably going to start this on audio while I work tomorrow, and I'll give you guys updates. But with that being said, I'm going to continue reading The Prison Healer. I'm probably going to change because I don't want to read like this. I want to get into some comfy clothes, and I have high hopes for it, and I can't wait to see what the big plot twist is at the end. And that's like what I've heard about The Prison Healer the most is the ending. So I'm really excited to get to that. I don't think I'm going to finish it today though, but who knows? I guess anything is possible. Doing? What are you doing? I don't think he wants to move. Can you scoot? Can you scoot your boo? This guy, he's so funny. She's trying to heal him, and she goes, "Take off your shirt and lie down." He goes, "I'm flattered, but we barely know each other." So stupid. She's kind of like, I wouldn't say she's Black Cat, but she kind of like gives that, but I think that's because of just, you know, she's been there for a long time, so she doesn't really think to have any sort of like teasing. She probably doesn't really joke or tease around that much. She takes everything very seriously, and he probably just wants to keep things lighthearted. So their dynamic is kind of funny in that way. It almost gives that Black Cat and Golden Retriever vibe, but like also not really given the circumstances, if that makes sense. I feel like Jaren is like the prince or something. He's gotta be like the prince. And I'm only saying that because it's a romantasy book. I just figure that maybe he's the prince and maybe there's some relation to him and the queen. There's gotta be some relation to him and the queen. I don't know. I bet he's just someone important. Like, wealthy, important to their people, things like that. I would be surprised if he ended up just being like a regular dude. No. All about. Hi. Okay, theory. I think Kaiva is part of the rebels because it's the same. I think that's not a spoiler. I don't think. I mean, it's 16% through the book. I think that she is definitely part of the rebels, and maybe that's why she was captured. Because at this point, we still don't know why she's there. I don't know. There's still a lot to figure out, but I really like the book so far. I think it's really interesting. And I like that there are trials, and I know a lot of books do trials. They're starting to do trials right now. And I think we're finally getting to the part about, like, the queen and how Kaiva is going to take the queen's place to keep her alive. I think I'm going to do, like, a read with me for 2 hours, and I'm going to see how long or how much I can read in 2 hours, because I think that'll be a good stopping point, at least, like, for a little bit. Let's see how that goes. Okay, maybe my theory about her being the daughter is wrong. I don't know anymore. I'm just wondering what the prologue was. Because the prologue, I don't know if it was about Kaiva or not. I read 105 pages. There's a lot of descriptions and inner thoughts of our main character, but I don't really like mind it. Like, I feel like the story is interesting enough to like continue on. 39% of the way through. There is like a couple of things that I'm confused about with this book. I don't really understand who the enemy is per se. If you haven't read this book, everything that I'm going to say is probably not going to make any sense to you. But the prince basically saved our main character because he thought she was pretty, right? But I'm like, there's gotta be more to that. Is everyone on the same page or what? And then it's like, why are people not, I don't know, who are the bad guys? I'm just kind of confused by that because it just seems like that everyone, including the good people, don't mind if the rebel queen's alive. I'm just kind of confused by that because if they didn't care, then why would they keep Kaiva alive? That's what I don't get that part, and I feel like there's probably going to be more to that, and if there's not, I'm going to be kind of disappointed and confused. Kaiva seems to like Jaren right now a little bit, but she doesn't want to like admit it because, I don't know, she thinks he's hot. So I was surprised that the first trial was so short, but I guess I understand. Like, I don't think I want to read like pages upon pages of trials, so I didn't mind that being that short, really. I guess I just thought it would be a little longer than maybe a page. Yeah, I think like if you want to get into this book, just definitely expect more of a fantasy, not really a romantasy. Like, there is very minimal banter. There's been a little bit of scene, but it's mostly about Kaiva and what's going on with her. But yeah, I feel like I'm talking a long time. I'm so sorry. Okay, anyways, maybe I'll get a little bit further in the book today. If anything crazy happens, I will keep you updated. Wait, what is happening? I knew it. Oh, that's... Oh. Oh my gosh. Wow, that makes so much sense. Oh my god. I just like how the author reveals things, because like even like us as like the reader, we don't know anything basically about anybody pretty much, and that's crazy. Oh, I'm tired. Anyways, definitely like a 4, like probably 4.5 or like 4.25, something like that, because I really enjoyed it. The only things that, you know, were like the things I mentioned, like how the trials just seemed kind of like simplified, and I feel like people, like, why would they care, right? So obviously just finished The Prison Healer. So good. First book done. So let's talk a little bit about the next book for this video, which I pulled early because I was going to listen to the audiobook. Okay, so the next book for this video was obviously The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, or Poston, whichever, however you pronounce it. The beginning of the book, you kind of jump right into where Florence meets her new editor. So Florence basically goes to meet this guy, because the book that she's working on right now for like under Anne is a book that Florence is writing, okay? But it's going to be published from Anne. I just don't remember the last name of the person. Anyways, I think I made my point pretty clear. My understanding of the plot was like, I thought she was going to get with a ghost. I don't think this is going to happen, but like I said, okay, the beginning of the book, she meets this editor. She thinks he's attractive. Blah blah blah, and then he's talking about like the book, and he's like, how's the book going? And you know, Florence is kind of like, well, you know she just kind of wants to like try something different. He's like, what do you mean? And so basically this author is known for like romance books, like happy endings every time. And she's like, well, what if like there wasn't a happy ending? Like romance is dead, like all these things. And he's like, literally no, like, we don't want that. Florence is like, oh, because Florence is writing the book for Anne, right? And she's having a hard time writing the ending because ever since her, like, really bad, like, breakup, she just can't write a happy ending, like, with romance at all. She has a friend named Rose that has kind of been trying to help her out. Right now, they went to this, what is it called? Like, it's like where you go, like, to a bar or something and you read poetry and it's got, like, the spotlight and everyone snaps for you. They did that, and basically she sees her ex there, and that kind of puts her into a spiral. And that's basically all that's going on right now in the book. Like, I'm not far in it at all. I've barely started it. And I have a feeling that the plot on the back of the book is not going to happen until halfway through. And I don't understand that. Like I kind of wish that wasn't a thing that people did, because, I don't know, it's like, how long is it going to take to get to that point? But basically, at some point, Florence is going to have to go back to her hometown. Oh, a big part of this book, I completely forgot. A big part of this book is that she can talk to ghosts. Which made me question, okay, is this author that she's writing for dead? Because, like, she said ghostwriter, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, they still communicate, but I don't know if the author that she's writing under is like, is this author dead and she's writing for this author? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, but I think I'll understand more later. Anyway, that's a big part of the book, that she can talk to the dead. I have a pretty busy weekend, but I'm hoping I can get as much done in the audiobook tomorrow as I can. And then maybe we could pull the third book. And honestly, I might cheat the third book a little bit because it's spooky season and stuff. I think I want to ensure that I read a spooky book. Because right now, a fantasy book is down. And then now we're reading a romance with a little bit of paranormal, I guess. And all we're missing is a mystery horror book. So we might just have to add that in. Guys, dare I say, okay, depending on how this ends, this might be a 5-star, because, and I'm so surprised that I feel like a lot of people said they didn't like this one as much as 7-Year Slip or whatever, but this one, listening to the audiobook, okay, so I have, like, literally not much left, and there was just, I knew it, okay, there was this reveal, and I freaking knew it, and I was like, I really don't think that this is happening, like, I don't think this is real, right, because it wasn't said, it wasn't stated before. I feel like I'm not really making a whole lot of sense. Okay, so I feel like in the beginning, I was kind of confused on like a couple of different things, and now it all makes sense, so don't worry, that was just me being dumb, but also me not reading enough of the book to make things make sense. But I just wanted to let y'all know that this is really good. And I'm reading this kind of at the wrong time of year, and I'm saying that because they specify that it is spring, almost summer. This one, I really think you could just read, like, all year round, but they, like, specifically say April 13th. So that's why I was like, oh, April 13th. It's definitely not April, but it's so good. And I'm so nervous because I'm scared, because I don't know. Okay, I need to calm down. I think that Ashley Poston, I think she's one of my favorite romance authors, and that's pretty, like, crazy for me to say because I've only read one other book by her. I think it's just because she just inserts this magical realism in her books, so it really, like, separates it from other romance books. And if I ever wrote a book, which, fingers crossed, I have ideas, but if I ever wanted to write a book, I would really want to be like it to be like hers, basically. And it's crazy because super low key, something that's going on in this book is, like, kind of like, hey, the thing that's going on in this book right now is kind of an idea that I had, like, but the character's not a ghost, okay? Not a ghost. It's really fun and interesting to see how a seasoned writer would write kind of this certain trope that's going on in this book, and it's really giving me, if you've seen Just Like Heaven, it's really giving me Just Like Heaven vibes. But I just love her writing and just how, I don't know, she just so seamlessly makes her sentences very poetic. I feel like she's so good at like tugging on your heart. Like she just has like she just puts these emotional moments right now. Like right now it's getting very emotional, and I love the way she writes. Like the emotional tear-jerking romances. I just love those. I love those. I think I have like a special attachment to the book right now because it really makes me think of the story idea I've had since I was like 15 years old. It almost gives me inspiration to write my story, although I don't know how to write. So let's try to finish it, and then we can pick the third book. I'm actually flying through. I'm flying through this. Okay, I'm acting weird. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to finish The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I'm gonna look up how to say her name. Okay. Stop. No. Stop. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. Why? Why am I emotional? We finished. Woo! Why do the old people make me cry? Literally, it was the old people that made me tear up. Okay, I'm gonna have to give it 5 stars because I feel like I'm gonna think about this book so often because just this is my knee, by the way. I know it looks weird. It's my knee. The magical realism she puts in the books and like the way she makes it so emotional. I don't know. I just love it. And it just really separates like other romance books that I've read, and I really like the way it ended off, especially like the very, very last chapter. It kind of gave us a glimpse a little bit into the future and what our characters were up to and stuff, and it was really sweet, and I liked it a lot. I love the premise of this book. Like, please read this. Like it's literally about like a ghost and a girl, like a girl that can see dead people, and she sees a ghost guy or whatever. It's very sweet. 5 stars. Really did not think I would give this a 5 stars. I'm gonna think about this book probably for a long time because it's just I just love like the 7-Year Slip and this one. I love them both. I think about the 7-Year Slip all the time as well. Like now I'm not gonna look at Crows the same. And I know it sounds really silly, but I'm not. I'm gonna look at Crows and I'm gonna think of this book. And then with the 7-Year Slip, anytime I see lemons or lemon pies, I think of the 7-Year Slip. It's crazy how books just make you look at things differently like that. It's just very so cool. Like I love reading. Anyway, I'm gonna choose the last book and we'll see what we get. And I think I mentioned that I might decide to read a spooky book. I'm not sure. I kind of just like the randomness of letting the candy chew, so I think I'll just go with that. So obviously, oh my god, I just dropped it. So obviously we read The Prison Healer, The Dead Romantics, and it's time for the final book. Number 3 is Hidden Pictures. I actually wanted to read that. I'm not even kidding. I wanted to read a horror book. Okay, so I don't have this book physically. It's on Kindle. I don't even have my Kindle with me. I don't have anything with me. Okay, I ran in the room real quick and got Hidden Pictures loaded up on my Kindle. So the summary is basically this girl named Mallory. She gets a new job and she moves out and she has her own living space and stuff. And she goes out for nightly runs and she meets this boy named Teddy, and he is shy and he's always drawing stuff, right? And his drawings are usually like, you know, what typical kids draw: trees, bunny rabbits. One day, he draws something different: a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. Then his artwork becomes more sinister, and his stick figures quickly evolve into lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of any 5-year-old. So then Mallory begins to wonder if these are glimpses of a long unsolved murder, perhaps relayed by a supernatural force. Knowing just how crazy it all sounds, Mallory nevertheless sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy before it's too late. Now, I will say, it does sound interesting. It does. We love when kids draw creepy stuff, okay? But also, I don't love the paranormal explanation to murders, okay? And like, not murders. I don't like the paranormal thrillers. So if this is like gonna be fully paranormal, I'm gonna go into it with that idea in mind, so hopefully I won't be too disappointed. Because I like it when I like it when the culprit is somebody alive or whatever. That's someone that makes sense, right? So we'll see. Stephen King has a blurb and it's literally just, I loved it. That's literally all he said. It's right there. It just says, I loved it. Okay, well, that's good. And I hope it actually scares me, because that would be really fun. We're on a vacation, and I feel very awkward because wait, this big news. He's not my boyfriend anymore. We actually broke up.
She broke up with me.
No.
On vacation, you guys.
No, I'm a fiance now, and I don't really know what else to say about that. It doesn't feel very different, but like, I know it is different, and people are like, oh my gosh, you know, obviously freaking out, and I freaked out too, I cried, but, you know, I don't know. Now I'm like, oh, because we've just kind of always felt married anyway, and Marshall thinks we're married, so big news to him. So I was gonna say that I feel like the book Hidden Pictures that I've been reading isn't that scary, because I think I said that I wanted, you know, to read a book that actually scared me, and this one has had a lot of people say it's scary because it's about, like, I don't know, it's more paranormal, but I'm on chapter 25, so apparently that's 69% through. But basically, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I like it. So basically, like I said in the beginning, the kid, Teddy, is drawing these really weird photos, and I didn't know that throughout the book there's pictures. Here's one of them, for example, and I feel like if I was physically reading the book on my Kindle, because I've been listening to it on audiobook because I had to work a lot, I think it would have scared me more and creeped me out a little bit. But as I'm listening to the book, I'm just like, oh, it's not really freaking me out. Like, yeah, there's some creepy moments where the kid is like, you know, he's like possessed and scribbling on the paper, but it's not like, it doesn't really scare me. I don't know. I think the family that Mallory, the main character, is babysitting for, I think they're really weird, because they're very, like, I don't know, maybe I'm the weird one, but I found it odd that literally day 2 they're like hugging her and like holding her hand, but like hugging her, and I'm like, I wouldn't be doing that. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. And then, like, obviously the husband hugged on her too, and I thought that was really weird. It was kind of like, I was like, oh, is this like a housemaid situation? So basically they're just trying to figure out why there's this spirit or whatever. They're trying to figure out if this thing that's going on is a girl that disappeared long ago. And she's saying her name is Anya. And this guy named Adrian, he's like the rich family, I forget their names, the rich family that they have landscapers, and he's a landscaper, and him and Mallory have been kind of like crushing on each other a little bit. It's just mid. I don't know. It's not scaring me, but I think now that I can sit here and read it and see the pictures that have been inserted, I'm gonna have to go back through and look. No way. You want to see?
Ooh.
Isn't that creepy? I didn't know there were pictures in the book. Ew. Scary. You want to see another one? Anyway, that's it. I might read, or well, I don't know, maybe I'll just go to sleep. I have no idea, but I'll keep you updated, and I'm going to scroll through and look at all these. Unless it, like, truly shocks me, it's looking like it's going to be maybe, like, around a 3 or something. The lighting in here is so bad. Okay, final update on Hidden Pictures by, you can't even see it, Jason Ricklock. I don't even know how to say the last name. Okay, so I finally finished it. I've been reading this book for a really long time, by the way. Like, I think it's literally been like a little over a week. Not that it was like bad or anything. I just been busy, obviously, with all the crazy things that have been going on for the past week and a half. I was reading some reviews for this book, and a lot of people like don't like it for all these like specific reasons, and I didn't really think about, like, I try to think about it in other people's perspectives. Okay, there's a lot of people that think it's very what is that word, stereotyping. I could see that a little bit. I don't know. I also don't really think it was purposeful. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But when it comes to the actual like story itself, okay, big plot twist happens. Okay, I did not expect that. Was very surprised about that. Didn't guess really anything. So in that way, I was like, awesome. But I do feel like that I understand when thrillers try to give you all of this information that try to mislead you from what the plot twist actually is. And while that is like fun and good in some ways, we spent a very, 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 very long time on this specific thing. And then at the very end, it tells you, oh, it's actually da 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 da. And I was like, so we spent all that time kind of for nothing. And maybe that's just a me thing, but that part I was a little annoyed at. Because I was like, I felt like it could have been shorter in that way, and there was so much time wasted. I wouldn't say that this is the fast-paced thriller I've ever read. There were definitely some slow parts to me. I thought that the paranormal things that were happening actually wasn't that bad, and there was the things surrounding the story, like that had started everything. I feel like it's a pretty realistic situation and would happen in real life. So I thought that was very interesting, and I was shocked. I was very shocked. I think that the best part of this book, and this could sound very strange, I think the best part of this book was the pictures that were inserted in the book. So that's why I recommend doing at least like physical reading, but also audiobook if you want, if it hits some slow parts. But I definitely recommend to go and look at the pictures in the book itself, because I thought that was like very interesting, and it made the story a lot more creepy, honestly. And obviously the pictures were very scary, and it literally looks like something a kid would draw. Like, it was scary, and I think that's my favorite part about the book, because I've never read another horror book that has pictures in it like that, so I thought that was really neat. So it doesn't really spoil anything. I thought the last part with Ted was kind of weird. Like, it felt very random, and to have that there to like kind of surprise you, but in some ways it just was kind of weird to me. But was it entertaining? Yes. But did it feel slow? Yes. But was it good? Yes. But did I guess any of the plot twists? No. But did I enjoy the story? Yes. But would I recommend it to you? Probably. If you look at the pictures. Yeah, some of the stereotyping in this book was kind of a lot, because now that I'm remembering, I was like, ooh, why is like the neighbor saying stuff like that? Like, the neighbor is saying stuff about Adrian's character that's obviously like racist, but then Mallory, our main character, goes to the neighbor for help, and it's like, why would you want to go to her when she was obviously doing this to, you know, them? And it's like, I don't know. That was just me. But I guess maybe she didn't have anywhere else to go. I don't know. See, I don't know. But it wasn't the best thriller I've ever read. I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.5. Like, it was good. It was entertaining. Pictures were cool. I think if it did not have pictures, I would have given it a 3. But since it had pictures, I'll give it a 3.5. But the plot twist is good. I think maybe it's worth it to also read for that plot twist at the end, because I did not guess that at all. I understand why they did that, because okay, some of the comments were saying that they could not believe that this part was inserted in the book, because it seemed like, I can't say the word without spoiling it, but it seemed like wrong. But I was like thinking in my head, and I was trying to understand from other people's perspective, and I was like, but it doesn't, but they're missing the part where they had to do this specific thing because this looked too much like this thing, and they had to disguise it. Prison Healer. The Dead Romantics, and Hidden Pictures. We read those 3 books in today's video, and obviously they're all rated pretty good. We got a 5-star, 4-star. Was it a 4-star or 4.5? I'm not sure. 4-star and a 3.5. I think it was pretty good. And that is it for today's video. I know we're ending it off in a different location, but I'm going back home tomorrow, and I just want to get this video done. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads if you want to. No pressure, just if you want. And that is it. And I will see you guys next Wednesday, hopefully, for another fun video. I can't believe November is already coming up, and it's gonna be time to pick new books to read for the month of November. So I'm really excited to do a video on that. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!